Be taught, and that when kids are approached, they don't know how to handle it. It's not about killing. You can't handle a situation by pulling the trigger. You don't know who you affect.
Hood's efforts come as Metro Police records show more than 16 people were shot over the Father's Day weekend. He's hoping to hold his classes in July. You can find more details about his organization on our website, WRTV.com.
Can't drive here. I know, I just realized that.
Now to an issue we first told you about on Friday. Several cars have been driving on the Monon Trail in Carmel, and neighbors tell us they're frustrated. A WRTV viewer sent in several videos showing cars driving on the trail near the Performing Arts Center. The drivers get confused and eventually turn around. Some neighbors say it's a safety risk, especially since most people use the Monon to avoid car traffic in the first place.
Well, the Monon, it's where you walk, you bike, you do like stuff on your feet, not really on four wheels.
I was gonna say, yeah, you cannot drive on it.
Yeah, no, like if I saw a car right now, I'd be like, what's going on here?
The city has put out some cones to prevent cars from driving onto the trail, but officials tell us they are looking for a more permanent solution. Carmel police say officers are also keeping an eye out for drivers on the trail. If you're caught, they say citations and civil action are possible because vehicles can easily cause damage to the trail.
Hi, I'm Amber Grigley on the Northwest Side. To compete professionally in any sport is truly a dream come true. And for some of the young athletes training here at 5-Star Training Facility, well, that dream is much closer to becoming their reality.
3, 2, 1, and we go.
When I was younger, I really wasn't athletic at all.
But by the age of 8, that all changed for Ashlyn Anderson.
That's when I actually wanted to start getting into my whole soccer career.
Years of training, sacrifice, and determination.
Okay, now I have to work. I have to put my all into this if this is really what I want for my future.
All paid off for this very moment.
Go Ash! Yeah!
So when I went to Germany to play with USA, I just felt really prepared.
Ashlyn made the U.S. Under-15 Women's Youth National Team and just returned from playing in Germany and the Netherlands.
To continue my career, it would mean everything to me because I've worked so hard just to get the opportunity I just had. So if I continue doing this, it'll be like a dream come true.
That dream is to play in the Olympics, and making the national team puts her in position to do just that, along with the training she's gotten right here in Indianapolis.
You have to die for it, because it's not always going to be perfect.
Trying to figure it out, okay, how can we create a blueprint to allow these kids to have a dream and hopefully reach the dream.
Pedro Anderson, a retired professional soccer player, opened 5-Star Training Center to make dreams like Ashlyn's come true for young athletes.
At a place like this kind of has a blueprint for that, and that it makes it possible. I think it's much easier to see that it's tangible than intangible.
Developing some of the top athletes across the nation.
The blueprint work, right? Now we can send a message around not the state, but the country, and allowing these young kids that, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
A drive that has Olivia Jones traveling 2.5 hours from Chicago multiple times a week to work towards that beautiful finish.
Normally, when I'm done with it, I'm very proud, and I feel like I've gotten better by the time. So I think it's a very good facility to help me grow and get to my goal.
After this Olympic, the next one I'm hoping I can play in, because I'll be able to play.
That's the goal.
Yes.
Not the next one, but the one after.
The one after.
You're going to see Ashlyn Anderson.
I'm going to see Ashlyn Anderson.
I'm Amber Grigley, WRTV.
I love it. Well, Indiana Landmark celebrated African-American history makers tonight in recognition of Juneteenth. The organization held a heritage concert and art show earlier tonight. In addition to featuring local black artists, the event celebrated African-American history and contributions made to Indiana.
We're going to be hearing black history facts that people just didn't know about Indianapolis. For example, did you know that Puryear Street in downtown Indianapolis was named for an African-American city councilman back in 1890?
I did not. Well, proceeds from tonight's event benefited the Indiana Landmarks Black Heritage Preservation Program. The program started 9 months ago and works to preserve black history statewide. Dozens of activists, community members, and youth marched for miles today to celebrate Juneteenth. The federal holiday was first officially recognized 2 years ago and commemorates the emancipation of enslaved African Americans. President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, but news of freedom didn't reach the slaves in Galveston, Texas more than 2 years later. People at the Peace Walk say the holiday is an important reminder of the past while also motivating positive change for the future.
Even though those steel shackles have been taken off of us in 1863, we're still dealing with a whole lot of challenges reference African Americans today, some of it even in the mindset, and some of it in dealing with issues of obviously biases, discrimination, and all the other isms that we have to work through. The good news is that we have inspired and continue to inspire our young people.
Still ahead on the news at 11, Coast Guard officials are searching for a missing submarine with 5 people on board. What's next in their efforts coming up? Plus, dog tags belonging to a local World War II veteran are back home with his family tonight, nearly 80 years after his service. We'll explain how this was made possible next. The search continues tonight for a tourist submarine that went missing Sunday while on an expedition to the Titanic shipwreck. ABC's Melissa Adan shares the latest from the Coast Guard, plus what we're now learning about one of the 5 people on board.
A race against time. The U.S. and Canadian Coast Guard searching for a small submarine that went missing during a tourist expedition to the Titanic.
We're doing everything that we can do to locate the submersible.
The Coast Guard says the submersible disappeared during an expedition from St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada, about 900 miles east of Cape Cod, to explore the infamous 1912 wreck in the North Atlantic Ocean. The vessel was deployed from a ship, and officials say an hour and 45 minutes into the dive, the ship lost contact with the sub and alerted the Coast Guard.
If they're not on the surface, it's a very hard problem because now they're 2 miles underwater. And even if we could locate them, we got to get to them.
According to the operator, Ocean Gate Expeditions, the submersible can hold 5 people, including the pilot, travel to a depth of more than 13,000 feet, and has enough oxygen for 96 hours. Its website advertises a voyage to the Titanic for $250,000 per person. ABC News learning one of the missing passengers is British billionaire Hamish Harding. His company confirming Harding was on board, posting on Facebook hours before dive, "A weather window has just opened up and we are going to attempt a dive tomorrow. More expedition updates to follow if the weather holds." The company Ocean Gate Expedition says our entire focus is on the crew members in the submersible and their families. We are working toward the safe return. Melissa Adan, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Today in Anderson, a ceremony almost 80 years and 4,000 miles in the making.
It's my great, great honor to present you with your dad's dog tag.
Thank you very much. The family of World War II veteran Staff Sergeant Jackson Edward McGill received his dog tag. McGill served in World War II as a radio man and helped with the liberation of France. But at some point, he lost his dog tag. His daughter and grandson say he was secretive about his time in the war.
For some reason, we couldn't find out. We still don't know where he was hurt, how he was hurt.
He was in 3 airplane crashes and it's the only survivor twice. And we think that's maybe why, plus the other, horrors of war, that why he was so secretive about it.
And this was all made possible by another veteran, Valerie Prihoda. She retired after serving as a colonel in the Marine Corps and now lives in northern France. Back in 2021, Prihoda was on a mission to help find the remains of another service member when a local gardener gave her the dog tag.
And he told me that he had found it almost 30 years ago in his garden and had it in his wallet, hoping someday to meet an American for whom he could give the dog tag to and perhaps maybe that American might be able to find the family of that service member and return it to them.
Well, Hoda did her research and learned Sergeant McGill passed away in 2014 and was buried at Maplewood Cemetery in Anderson. Several military and veterans groups came together to make today's ceremony possible on the day that would have been McGill's 100th birthday. Quite the story there, Kevin. Wow. Right place at the right time for that lady.
Yeah, and the gardener, right?
Yes.
I mean, to put all these pieces together. For us, we're trying to solve a weather puzzle, figure out how to get widespread beneficial rain back to central Indiana. That is not in the near term. There are solid areas of rain from Liberty to south of Connorsville to north of Greensburg and other dots poking up. So I do think as we go through the overnight, there will be pockets of much needed showers. Look at Lafayette, for example. That's a monthly total, just 1/1600ths of an inch. In Indy's at 7/400ths. If we didn't have another drop of rain, it'd be the third driest June on record. Spinning to our southeast is low pressure. We'll be within the circle of showers from Indy southeast tomorrow. It will move a little farther away as we get to Wednesday, decreasing our rain chances. Then as we get to Thursday and Friday, I think the rain chances come back up. This is not a short-term rainfall potential map. This is through Friday. And it's not a whole lot, but areas southeast may see ½ an inch or more in total. Temperatures, they'll bounce around a bit. 81 tomorrow. Chance of a thunderstorm, 40%. Most of us stayed dry. Wednesday temperature at 82. The rain chance goes down, and then as we get to Thursday, a 30% chance of thunderstorms. Temperatures today had about a 10 to 15 degree range with warmest temperatures north and west and cooler temperatures as you go toward the Ohio River and the state line with Ohio because of additional cloud cover and showers. It'll be breezy for all of us. Winds 20 to 30 miles per hour at times tomorrow. Look what happens as we move to the weekend. These squiggly lines represent the rising humidity. Perhaps that, excuse me, will help build some showers and thunderstorms. Certainly one of the pieces of the puzzle that we need. Temperatures northwest of Indy at 86 tomorrow, in Lafayette, 80 in Columbus. As you see, temperatures over the weekend, they jump. 85 Saturday, better chance for thunderstorms Sunday and Monday with the humidity joining in and real summer warmth.
Many Black-owned businesses say Juneteenth is a great way to bring Black culture, history, and contributions to the forefront. One Black-owned business grabbing attention this year is Actively Black, a sportswear company founded in 2020. Scripps News' Jamal Andra shows us what makes them different from traditional companies like Nike or Adidas.
Yo, this is Mars Blackman, and this is my main man, Michael Jordan.
Sportswear giants like Nike and Adidas have made billions with Black American athletes as the face of their companies. But for Lanny Smith, a former college standout and NBA player himself, these marketing deals were not enough.
Ownership is very important, and we have far too long only been consumers and not owners.
Lanny Smith is the CEO and founder of Actively Black, an athleisure and sports apparel brand started in the wake of George Floyd's murder.
Part of the motivation for this was I saw a lot of these brands post, the murder of George Floyd, come out with a lot of performative declarations about what they were going to do for the Black community. And, to me, it just felt like it was just part of their marketing strategies.
Smith says he's building